my voice.
Yes.
I'm not far away.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming to be part of the permanent Zimbabwe Constitution Zanu headquarters. This is our first conference of this year. We cherish very much your interface role to the Zimbabwean public, but also to the international public. As you carry the message across about the many achievements of Zimbabwean people as they grapple with the task of national development. The President of the Republic, Dr. Mutsvangwa, he's still on leave. He had taken a well-deserved rest during the holidays. He's a grinder. Everybody saw him throughout the whole year last year, opening and cutting ribbons all over the show, going to international conferences, attending regional summits with his neighbors, and along the way putting the image of Zimbabwe into good state. He will soon be back at work. He's really poor. He has got a script which has since proven itself in terms of where Zimbabwe is going in terms of its national development agenda and the palpable goals which he has been able to deliver as the Second Republic with his mantra, Zimbabwe is open for business, his dictum, and his clarion call to Zimbabwe that no one and no place will be left behind. So he's living in that new state. We expect rested and rejuvenated in terms of energy, re-energized, sorry, you can't change his years, re-energized president to come and put his shoulder to the wheel with his team. But in the meantime, showing the unity which is in our party, the ex-president has been busy discharging the role of custodian of the governance of Zimbabwe during that period of his leader's rest. We recently, of course, had the opportunity to attend the colorful wedding of our acting president, our vice president, Dr. Mutsvangwa. All this showing the facade of unity, the facade of unity. You can see a united party. I highlight this in contrast, of course, to the internecine fights which never seem to abate in the other opposition party as it goes from faction fight to faction fight. And as it loses one election after another, and the fractures fight for supremacy in the triple C of Chamisa. We want to, from the onset, say the Muslims by Chamisa to say we may withdraw the party we are unfazed. And this party from Parliament, we are unfazed. He is a sour grape loser. His MPs win. He loses. He's not gracious to them so that they can discharge their responsibility to the electorate. He's not gracious and gives them the opportunity. Simply because he himself has not attained the apex of power. For years, their party has enjoyed the governance of cities and towns for 2 decades, which was ample opportunity for the CCC, ex-MDC, to show that they are part of governments and they would have made the urban areas centers of excellence, which have demonstrated to the electorate and which would have infatuated their supporters, their outside supporters, to say they are a party worth of governance. But everybody sees the decay which the towns have fallen into. Whilst the president was having on leave, he was also busy in the background directing his ministers in an operation Cheliswara. And you are seeing graphic pictures of the amount of garbage which has been collected over the decades, which now requires yellow equipment to move tons and tons of garbage, which was afflicting our neighborhoods, our suburbs, our wards, as if there was no town fund, city fund, as if there was no town council. They let the cities rot. But look, the president says whether you are CCC or not, you are a Zimbabwean citizen, whether you are Zanu or not, you are a Zimbabwean citizen. The initiative which is carrying out all over the country to change the day-to-day life of the people of Zimbabwe, he wants them to be enjoyed by every Zimbabwean, regardless of your political affiliation. Because when it comes to the welfare of the Zimbabwean people, the president and Zanu says it sees no distinction about cultural. That's why we saw Minister Chitando with the Civil Protection Bureau working full time on the holidays. You see Minister Mutsvangwa working full time to see that Harare has got water, and now they are taking this Cheleso Harare to Cheleso Zimbabwe. They are taking it countrywide today. Minister Masuka, he will be in Namanda, taking the message of the neighborhoods, the towns, to the people. We need a clean environment. You see what cholera has been doing. Initially it was in rural areas where people live in scarcity, and we're encouraging people in rural areas not to gather in such a manner that they may spread the disease. But our fear is that it will go into more congested urban areas. So the Minister Mopeshola is busy with the challenge of trying to stem the spread of cholera and the loss of needless lives, simply because the city fathers over 2 decades have neglected their responsibility to the electorate, which has kept faith in that party, in the hope that when they get to town house and they start running the city affairs, they will be able to deliver a city or urban governance system befitting the expectations of the electorate. Sadly, time after time, that has not happened. And we are glad as a party that in the recent elections, the bellwether urban ward of Zimbabwe, the original home of the black people when they were being urbanized with the advent of colonial secularism in the 1920s and 30s, which is Bari, former national. We are very happy that in the last election, they decided to vote for the Zanu referendum. It's a trend which we saw being repeated in Magu, in other urban centers, in Bulawayo. I come from Ashonda and West. We have had by-elections at one level, in Chinoi and in Bucket, and we see Zanu PF winning back the urban constituency. So the contrast in school, then the teacher compare and contrast. The contrast is now being made by the electorate as to which part serves the long-term, day-to-day interests of its public people, and which party is given to an unbridled quest for power for its own sake, without bothering even to show competence when that power is entrusted to you at local government level. How do you expect to do well at State House for the whole country of Zimbabwe when you can't do well at Town House for the urban population of each and every city or town which has been governed by CCC, MTC, courts for 2 decades. So we are happy with the work which is being done by Operation Genesis. I want to add to say this trend shows that the task of urban renewal is being delivered by Zanu. I want to highlight the success of the party in another area where the impact of investments by the president in conjunction with competent business people who are exploiting our resources have begun to show fruits. There is a new vitality about Wange Town. Wange Town has died. The new vitality is coming from the big investments in our coal fields, because all of you know that the most dependent source of power for this country comes from the Wange coal fields. We have new power stations being built. People are being employed. The bigger surroundings are beginning to see their children go to school. The promise, the empty promises of NGOs, which were false development missionaries to the people of Martinot, they are being discarded aside by the population of Martinot as it sees the results of the big investments being made, because they are the hotbed of energy of the whole of Zimbabwe. And it's beginning to change the lives of the people in Martinot and Pinga. In the recent by-election in that area, so again ZANU-PF winning, which is another bellwether indication to the CCC that the urban populace is shifting its allegiance because they expect a better life from the people they elect to office. In short, Chitown Chilikuzozo, the president. And what is Chitown? A town is different from a rural place. It is, and the difference is not in houses, because what makes a town is a gathering of people in common effort, using their hands to produce goods for the domestic market as well as the regional and international market. They want factories. People, young people, they want to leave home at 7 o'clock, go to work, then break at 5. On Friday, young people, women and men and boys, they want to receive a salary, a wage. They enjoy themselves over the weekend and they resume work on Monday. They expect to be paid at the end of the month for their work. This is an urban environment. It is a workers' environment. And workers means factory. Now, 2 decades of CCC governance, never one day have we seen Chamisa of the businessmen opening a factory. Never have we seen a town father at the airport, Harare Airport, receiving a business delegation. Because every town in the world is identified by what it can produce, the products which it produces for the local, for the regional, and for the global market. You go to London, you know it's a financial center for the whole world. You go to New York, you know it's a financial center. You go to Los Angeles, you know it's Silicon Valley, because they produce technology. You go to Nagoya, and Japan, you know it's one of Toyota. Every town, Joburg was known as the town of gold. Every town is on a purpose. The people have what they do day to day. 2 decades of CCC rules in towns, there is no identity at all about what towns are supposed to do. And ZANU-PF is restoring that, and you will be happy if I give you an analogy. The pregnancy of a cow is like that of a human being. It's 9 months. The pregnancy of an elephant is 22 months. My analogy goes this way. For rural areas, they are like cows. Their pregnancy, the gestation period, was 9 months, a shorter period. And the changes which the president has been making in rural areas to change rural areas are delivering results. In 9 months has been achieved. Food is working well. Irrigation is working well. Granaries are full. More than that, the reforms which he has made in the mining sector are seeing big ticket mining go to rural areas, converting them into mining areas. We now have steel plants of global class at Mandisi. We now have lithium plants by world-class companies sprouting all over the plateau, which is Zimbabwe. This is the creation of resources which are then needed in urban areas so that factories can run, so that people can work from 7 to 5 o'clock. Now, the gestation of the town is that of the elephant. It is 22 months. So the town is catching up on what is being produced in rural areas because of the reforms of the president and his economic agenda. So there is a logic, a sequence to what is happening in our economy. Chitown na President Mutsvangwa is Zanu. We will soon be having vibrant towns which will be enticing not only to our local young women and women who work hard, who are enlightened, who are disciplined, who are educated, who know how to quickly convert capital from an investor into profit. This is the reputation of Zimbabwe all over. We are grinders in South Africa, we are grinders all over. So we need that, and we need that in our towns. What we've done abroad in several countries because of the sanctions is now going to be happening here in Zimbabwe. So the elephant gestation period of 12 months produced a bigger cow than that one of the cow, which is the rural areas. It means the multiplier effect of the economic impact of the president's economic agenda is going to see more prosperity being delivered to the people of Zimbabwe. And we see it in the way our neighbor Mozambique is beginning to invest in the logistical outlets, which have traditionally been the mainstay of Mozambique, particularly about riding on a train. Mozambique has renovated the railway, which was closed in 1974-75 because of the war. I know the story because I had just skipped university. I was in Chimoyo, then Villaperi, and the last train to cross the two borders of Mozambique and Sahara and the Rhodesia at that time. I gave a letter to one of my neighbors from Bari to go and give my father that I had crossed Mozambique from university. That was the last train, 75, between Bari and Harare. Now the Mozambique are at the border much further. They are impatiently waiting for the Zimbabwe side to come and join the party. You can see the restoration of the borders of Mozambique for sports to service the Zimbabwean plateau, the Zimbabwean economy. Why? Because the president has created a new economic hinterland within Zimbabwe, which makes it feasible for Mozambique to start attracting big ticket investments for the logistics, which needs to export the goods being produced in Zimbabwe for the global market at the cheapest possible price. You will be happy. There will be 2 new terminals being built by a big investor who is in Zimbabwe, Tsingshan, the global steel company. There is a new port, 40 kilometers north of Beira, being designed. And hopefully this year, when the president goes to China, we may get more support from China for the building of a new port in Mozambique, because the viability of the port is justified by the economic activity which Zanu PF and President Mutsvangwa are engendering in the hinterland of Mozambique, of central Mozambique. No longer will it be necessary for Zimbabweans to go 2,000 kilometers away to Durban. And you can imagine the inflation factor which it causes. I always remind people, a container leaves New York to Durban for $1,000. It was. To get it from Durban to Harare by road and rail, it's another $3,000. Can your economy be competitive with such an onerous logistic cost? No. President Mnangagwa is reversing that. We are going to buy it. It's only 300 kilometers from Mutare. And that again adds a multiplier, a feel-good factor in the economy of Zimbabwe. You see the economic picture which is emerging from a focused President Mnangagwa. Said, but before I go to say, what I'm talking about is registering even in quarters which previously were averse to seeing any progress in Zimbabwe, saying that progress can only come once Chamisa, the TPC, and the Western puppets have taken over Zimbabwe. They want neo-colonization of Zimbabwe, but that is not happening. So we have, for the first time, the World Bank accepting that the Zimbabwean economy is performing better than the regional economies. The World Bank, the one which is blocked by Zidera from supporting any infrastructure projects. It's by statute that they cannot support infrastructure projects in Zimbabwe. The World Bank now says Zimbabwe's economy, notwithstanding such is performing better than any regional economies. But not only the World Bank, one of the most prestigious newspapers in America is called US News and World Report. I went to school in New York, business school in New York. I know this publication. It is very interesting, it's a respected business-oriented periodic. It has come out to say Zimbabwe's economy is doing very well. It's among the top 67 in the whole world of 200 and something countries. This is a good of coming from people who were not previously enabled to see Zambia in a positive light. It's not only that. The International Finance Corporation, the arm of the World Bank, is talking the same language. But listen to this. An American diplomat who was an ambassador to Zimbabwe, Charles Ray. He was here, a retired and respected war veteran from the Vietnam War, decorated. He served here. He is black, Afro-American. He generally was the most progressive of the American diplomats we have seen, the ambassadors we have seen in Zimbabwe. He tried to, he is the one who was instrumental in prompting his successor, Bruce Watto, to remove IDBZ and Agribank on such. He was instrumental. So he has forced, in following the fortunes of the country which he served well. By the way, he could do what he did because he was retiring. He didn't care about his next promotion. So he dared to tweak the American system to the reality that Zimbabwe is a good country. Now there is the smart satisfaction, Charles Ray, to write last week to say Zimbabwe is going to be the industrial hub of Africa. You saw that. It comes from none other than an American ambassador who served in this country. What am I saying? I'm saying the story of what President Mnangagwa and Zanu-PF is doing to make this country prosperous is receiving validation even from quarters which previously we did not expect. But it is also adding a cheer to those who wished so well for this country. And I want to say thumbs up to Ambassador Charles Ray for bringing this to the fore. Well, some people want to complain in America to say because we are not there, the Chinese are there, therefore things are not being done properly. And this, the point is that if they are not being done properly, come and engage. Show your mettle, show that you can also do better. If the Chinese are doing certain things in not such a good way, and you think you can do better, that's a business opportunity for you. We want capital in this country. Capital that makes the country develop. Unlike the TPC, which thinks that seizing of power through willy-nilly, it makes a country develop. No, 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 it's capital. We want American capital, we want American businessmen. We have enough lithium. America is short of lithium, China has taken their hand in electric vehicle supply chain because of lithium. We have it in Zimbabwe. We want American expertise, the Teslas of America. We want them in Zimbabwe. And the president has extended his hand. He may not so much, I want to tell you, the president is not so much concerned about money from the World Bank or the IMF. For your own information, I'm a finance, finance expert, often. I went to school for that. The World Bank and the IMF, on a lucky day, they can raise 9 trillion, between 7 and 9 trillion, as capital for supporting world economic development. On the same day, Wall Street and the stock exchanges all over, in Japan, in Riyadh, in London, in Paris, in Frankfurt, in Tokyo, in Singapore, in Shanghai, Shenzhen, Mumbai, the stock exchanges can raise 90 trillion US dollars. So if you are looking for money, go where the money is. American business people, when they develop their country, they don't go to Washington to the World Bank to look for money. American people go to Wall Street to look for money. The Apples, the GEs, the Amazons. So the president is focusing on American business people. Yes, if the government come next February, can revisit sanctions and drop them, it lowers the cost of doing money. But notwithstanding the premium against Zimbabwe, raising cheap money, we still are doing well. Why? Because the president is focused on the private sector market of the world, because that's where capital comes from. Have you ever seen any of the CCC people entertaining a world-class financial manager or a fund manager? No, they don't know that. Chalisa doesn't know that language. That perception doesn't exist. I'm familiar with this ambulance. Tutakwenda ku State House. Kana pasina paine chimwe chamuka murodha achida ku State House, haana basa nacho. Because the ambulance haitakure chituna. Inoda munhu ari kurwara. That's the pencil-minded mentality, single-item mentality of peoples. We are contrasting it with what's happening from our president and his ruling party. What am I getting to? I'm saying that the management of the country is in good hands with President Mutsvangwa and Zanu. And this year, he wants to build upon the successes which he has been delivering to make sure that Zimbabweans achieve more prosperity, to make sure that our neighbors who also are validating what the president is doing. President Musa, I told you, the Zambians are here, they are talking now of building a pipeline from Maputo to Lusaka to supply all the trucks which you see going to Zambia to drive along to Chiloi. It's almost like a continuous train of trucks. The Zambians are seeing Zimbabwe as their drink ball for fuel. This is the neighborliness which we have. Mutsvangwa is talking along the same language of building. It has gone to the point where the success of Zimbabwe is even elicited jealous for the Americans. For the first time, they are talking of building a railway line from Copper Belt to Lobito. America has never built a railway line in Africa for the past 200 years. It has never built one. Now, finally, it has been built by what Zimbabwe and the Chinese are doing in Africa to come to the party. This is a good thing. The more, the merrier. That's what we say. And we really hope that come February, because of the things I talked to you, President Biden visits the sanctions and somehow sleeps on 17 February and the executive order of sanctions just disappears. Because that's all that is needed. Then you can be given more breathing space. I want to breathe, like Floyd George said. That's what Zimbabwe wants. Zimbabwe wants to breathe. America, can you give us a chance? because we are doing very well. I want to go further and say this week, this Saturday, the South African National Congress is celebrating its 124th anniversary. This is a good thing. It is the oldest party program in the world, or one of the oldest in the world. Definitely the grandfather, grandmother of African parties. You may want to recall that in the 1950s, when we started nationalism in this country, the copycat was the African National Congress. It was called the African National Congress of Rhodesia, with the African National Congress of Malawi, with the African National Congress of Zambia. The influence of the nascent emergence of African nationalism is owed to South Africa, all the way to Kenya, and a tomboy. So we are very happy that our African ANC brothers are in this jamboree of the party, which has done so much, and which later exported its version of African nationalism, which was then transformed by the likes of Neto, Nyerere, and Samora to become radical African nationalism, leading to the national liberation movements, which worked together during the 1960s and 70s and 80s until 1994, when apartheid was overthrown from settler to get rid of the continent of settlerism and colonialism. So we say to the ANC colleagues, congratulations, you've done well for Africa. We want you to find ways of maintaining unity in that party, because a strong South Africa is very good for the stability of the region. It checks wayward adventurism because it's a regional power. It's not always that's why we are happy when they go into the BRICS to go and look for more opportunities as a region for Africa. That's the role of South Africa, and it vindicates why you Zimbabweans. You stood four square with South Africa in the last hour when Mozambique was making battle, Zamora Machel being killed, and Mozambique being foisted upon Ngomati in the 1980s. Zimbabwe stood four square with the ANC of South Africa under very daunting conditions, and it was contribution by Zimbabweans to the ANC liberation movement from their own paychecks. So when South Africa goes to the party on Saturday, our president sent messages, is in touch with his colleague, my counterpart in South Africa. The bonds are very strong. I actually overheard one of their conversations recently. We are very strong bonds with our friends. So this is a good thing. I will kick off from that place of the ANC by hailing them for the bold decision of global conscience by the ANC to take the genocidal practices of Israel to the International Court of Justice. Wasn't it a source of pride yesterday to see South African jurists presenting their case in solidarity with the Palestinians in the International Court of Justice? Here is a country of Nelson Mandela. We made it because the world was in solidarity with us, because regardless of color, creed, or sex, or gender, or whatever, or religion, humanity is the same. That's why we enjoyed solidarity for our liberation struggle. The PLO and other liberation movements, Palestinian people, they are in peril. Right now, the population of Gaza is in peril because of the genocidal tendencies and practices of the Israeli government and of the Israeli army against the whole population. 20,000 people, 25,000, 24,000, almost now, have been killed in 3 months. No war has done so much damage to a civilian population in a very confined area, including collective punishment of a people, denying them water, denying them medicine, denying them care, denying them this. And all because we are justifying that we are trying to hunt a terrorist. Look, there's something akin to that. A boyfriend or husband who wants to destroy the fetus because it is being housed by a womb of a woman who may have been your enemy. No act justifies acceptance or condonation of genocide or genocidal tendencies, no matter what the Israeli government do. And the most unfortunate thing is that it is even the leadership which has been making some strange statements to justify why they should do that to a population. The statements are there. So we are very happy that South Africa has pricked the conscience of the world and has had the courage. You know, the powerful Israeli law in America, it is South Africa has defied that. It has made Africa feel proud that we are part of humanity. And we say to the Israeli government, those of Jewish extraction in other countries who are demonstrating against their government, including the young people of America from universities, they are right. We need a ceasefire. We need unimpeded access of humanitarian aid to the Palestinian people. And I want to take this occasion to pay my condolences to the ambassador of Palestine. I met his mother recently, last year, when she was proud of her son, serving in Zimbabwe, when she became the victim of Israel bombardment in Gaza, and she is late. So my condolences go to him. But once again, I want to say, South Africa, you've done us good. We are proud of you. You've raised the flag of Africa about the common humanity which we all share. And we expect a two-state solution for Israel and Palestine. People used to say blacks and Afrikaners in South Africa, Africans and Afrikaners, they're not living together. Apartheid is the demise of apartheid is proved that South Africa now is a multiracial nation. Who says Palestinians and Israelis cannot find each other? We want extremism to be checked, particularly state-sponsored or state-directed extremism on the part of Israelis and the Israeli leadership and the Israeli government. So South Africa, we are very happy about. We feel proud. We feel that we have done Africa good. We've done the black diaspora good, which is also in America supporting demonstrations in universities against Americans supplying more weapons of indiscriminate slaughter against Israeli and against the Palestinian people by the Israeli army. I mentioned earlier on about the American ambassador, Mr. Charles Reid. We are seeing positive winds are wafting from London. I want to tell you that we had 2 meetings with the current British ambassador who loves his and never spares an opportunity to show his appreciation of the people of Zimbabwe in their language, particularly Shona, because he served here before. He has highlighted the fact that we want investment into Zimbabwe, a focus away from the previous politics of supporting willy-nilly the CCC for other nefarious tendencies. We are not given to look into the rear review mirror. Our president is not given to look into the rear review mirror. We focus in the windshield as to where we are going. We welcome this move on the part and the announcement by the British ambassador that British capital is being encouraged to come to Zimbabwe. We also have a very, very active diaspora of Zimbabweans there. We have proven that they can deliver in a hard currency environment. I am told that maybe people forget. We almost had an electrical railway. We had one from Dabuka to Harare in the 1980s. We built 200 kilometers of electric railway. Somehow when the decay of the First Republic started creeping in, that railway line was abandoned. We had locomotives, electrical in museums, But the whole line was filled with the copper wire and it was turned into copper plates, like those copper plates, without anybody bothering as to what was happening. This is some of the decay of the First Republic, which led to Operation Restore. But a good thing can come out of the bad. I'm told the engineers who built that railway line were taken en masse to London to join the British Rail. So for the past 40 years they've been working for British Rail. They are now retiring. They are now experienced. And they are looking at what the president is doing at home in terms of investment and the requirement for infrastructure and logistics. We need to join the ports.